Sahana bhavatu Sahaviryam karavavahai Svinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Aryatītarasīvara dhagavārisa gugayil Arivāirami paramātuman Arunācala ramanan Parivalvulam muruganala Paranārndidu guhayārndu Arivam vizhitiravai Nisam arivai adu veliyam Annamalayai Adiyenai Anda andre aviyudal Kondayanakko Kurayundo Kurayum Gunamum நீயல்லால் என்னே நிவற்றை என்னுயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே ஓம் அதிமதுரசாபஹஸ்தாம் அபரிமிதாம் மோதபான சௌபாக்யாம் அருணாம் அதிசய கருணாம் அபிநவ குலசுந்தரீம் வந்தே ஓம் ஐம் ஹ்ரீம் ஸ்ரீம் ஓம் பார்த்தாய பிரதிபோதிதாம் பகவதாம் நாராயணேன ஸ்வயம் व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः सर्वोपनिषदो गावो धोक्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुधैवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. So in the 17th chapter, Bhagavan was saying, Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. According to one's own samskaras in the heart, the Shraddha. In fact, Shraddha Mayoyam Purushaha. Man is nothing but his Shraddha. Yoya Shraddha Sayeva Saha. As the Shraddha, so is the man. So this is very important. What kind of Shraddha we have got? See, Shraddha we all have got. Whether that is of sattvic nature or rajasic nature or tamasic nature. Accordingly only our life. So we saw yesterday, with respect to the ahara niyama, how a sattvic person, what he will like, and a rajasic person, what he will like, and the tamasic person. So the sattvic person likes that food which increases the ayuhu, arogya, sattva, bhala, etc. So he goes for what? Rasyaha. Rasyaha means with some rasa, tasty, snigdhaha, stiraha. Stiraha means something very substantial. Hrudyaha. Hrudyaha means, here he says Hridaya Priya, which is close to his heart. Hridaya Priya, aharaha. So such a sattvic person, he goes for such kind of ahara. But whereas the rajasic person, my God, he goes for katu, amla, lavana, ati ushna. And then Shankara in his commentary says ati should be added to everything. Ati kattu, ati kattva, ati amla, ati lavana. Meaning what? Too much of, sour, too much of pungent, hot, spicy, too much of saline, he says, no, salty. Like that he prefers. And also ruksha means what? Dry, and then burning. Vidahinaha means burning. Aharaha rajasasya ishtaha. They lead to what? Dukkha shoka amaya pradaha. Pain, suffering, and disease only. And whereas the tamasic people, yatayamam, stale food, means they don't cook every day, every session. They preserve it and then eat. Ghata rasam, all the rasam has gone, and smelling, and then stale, means old. Uchishtamapi, the refuse. And amedhyam, amedhyam means what? Impure. So such bhojanam, tamasapriyam. So when we eat such food, then it enhances our quality also. Rajasic people eat rajasic food, and then they are restless, agitated, confused. Tamasic people eat tamasic food, and then they drown in tamas only. They can't discriminate. Manda buddhi. And even sattvic food, if you eat too much, it leads to manda buddhi only. Mida sattviha aharam. Mida sattviha agaram. It should be in moderation and also sattvic. So even when we are cooking also, we have to cook with a positive energy, with the remembrance of the Lord. Then the food becomes sattvic. It is said one has to take bath and only should enter into the kitchen. It is said like that. Those days our grandmothers were doing that. But we cook everything, finish, and then we go to take bath. So we are only injecting tamas in the food. So such food, if somebody eats, they also become tamasic. So all the ahara niyamas are there. So yesterday we saw it in detail. So we not go into it again. Now moving on. So now with respect to worship, austerities, and dhanam. Worship means here yajna. Yajna, tapasharya, and dhanam. See, these three things or recommended for the grihasthas when they are living their grihasthashrama life. So every day they have to perform yajna. Yajna means what? Some activities good for all, something. And tapas, austerities. Meaning what? Not always giving room to the body and mind. Little bit of control, self-control. And dhanam, to give freely, liberally. So these three things are always recommended. And according to the nature, the person involves in yajna or tapasya or dhanam also. That is going to enumerate now. So we shall go into the 11th verse. Apala kankshibhir yajnaha vidhi drishtoya yijyate yashtavyameveti manaha samadhaya sa satvikaha apala kankshibhir yajnaha vidhi drishtoya yijyate yashtavyam eva iti manaha meveti manaha samadhaya sa satvikaha apala kankshibhihi, meaning what? Apalartibhihi. So they don't expect anything from their yajna. It is for the good of all. Sarva loka sukhino bhavantu. That is their only prayer. So apala kankshibhihi. So such people are sattvic people, and their shraddha is sattvic. Those who perform even yajna, not expecting anything, just for good of all. Some people say, peace, for the peace of the world, for the good of all. So like that they do. And vidhi drishtaha, according to the injunctions of scriptures, they do. For that they learn, and then they do it accordingly. Shastra chodana drishtaha. Yo yajna ijjate, nirvartyate. So they perform according to the shastric injunctions. And what is their attitude? Yashtavyam eva iti manaha samadhaya. Meaning, this is my dharma. By propitiating the devas, devas will be pleased and they will bless the world. So this is my dharma. As a grihastha, I have to do this. What would I get? What would I get? They don't ask such question. They say, this is my dharma. This is my duty. See? The idea is, yashtavyam eva iti manas samadhaya. So this is what I have to do. So therefore I will do. Yashtavyam eva iti yajna swarupa nirvartanam eva karyam iti manaha samadhaya na anena purushartho mama kartavya iti. So because of that, I don't think what I would get. No, I will do it because it is my dharma. With that attitude, when they perform yajna, iti evam nishchitya sa satviko yajna uchyate. When with such a determination, if they do yajna, it is satvik yajna. So even in our day-to-day activities, when we do it for the good of the world, the same bhavana should be maintained. What? It is good for all, not for me, and this is my dharma. See, that is what Gurudev has said. The propagation of knowledge is our dharma. Rishi Rina, we are paying back to our rishis because we learned from them. So what is how we pay their debt? By giving it to our next generation. By sharing this to the next generation. So Rishi Rina, it is actually, it's also, we are indebted. So like that, this is my kartavya, this is my duty. This has to be done. So like that they do. So because of that, people praise or censure, they don't worry too much. This is my kartavyam. That is how they do. And where Rajasic people, how they do? Abhisandhayatu palam abhisandhayatu palam dambhartamapi chaivayat yijyate bharata shreshta tam yajñam vidhi rajasam. Abhisandhayatu palam. Abhisandhaya means uddishya phalam. Always they think about something what they might get out of it. Uddishya phalam. Phalam means what? What I will get out of it. I may get some punya at least. Punya means what? I will go to the higher lokas and there I will enjoy. So here I have enjoyed, but now I am becoming older and older. Here I cannot enjoy. So by performing such yaga yajnas, the idea is what? Bhoga buddhi only. I will go there and enjoy. And still subtle pleasures I will enjoy. So that is how abhisandhayatu palam. And dhambartamapi. Yesterday I told you, dhamba, vanity, hypocrisy, dhamba, meaning to show off with pomp and show, they do everything. Rajasic people. அவங்களுக்கு அடக்க ஒடுக்கமாக செய்யவே தெரியாது எதுவுமே. Everything dhamba only, dhambartam. So dhambartam api chayavati chayevayat ijjate he Bharata Shrestha tam yajñam vidhi rajasam. Hey Bharata Shrestha, one who is best among the Bharata Kula, that is how ijjate tam yajñam, they perform their actions or the yaga yajñadis. So vidhi rajasam, understand their shraddha to be of rajasic nature. So not only yaga yajna, even in our day-to-day activities, it is only to show off, to impress. Then it is rajasam. It is atmartham if it is done. Atmartham means what? Quietly for once, atma labha it is done. It is satvikam. But if it is done for everybody to see, then it becomes dambha. And not only that, dambha means, actually they don't believe honestly in it. But they show as if they are very pious, very religious, romba adambarama they do it. See, that is what is dhamba. So that is rajasam. And what is tamasa? How they do yaga? Even tamasic people do yaga yajnadis. How they do? Vidihinam asruštannam. Vidihinam asruštannam. Mantrahinam adakshinam. Shraddha virahita yajñam. Tamasam parichakshate. Vidihinam asruštannam. Mantrahinam adakshinam. Shraddha virahitam yajñam. Tamasam parichakshate. Vidihinam, meaning what? Yata chodita viparitam. Whatever is said in our scripture, they do it opposite. Vidihinam. They don't respect all those, do's and don'ts. They do whatever they fancy. Vidihinam. But they are only interested in showing it off, so they just do. Vidihinam also. They compromise. And they do something. And very important, Vidihinam asruštannam. It is said, in the completion of any yajna, food should be distributed, annam should be distributed. Here, asruštannam means what? Brahmanebhyaha na srushtam na dattam annam yasmin. So they don't distribute food. See, here it is only Brahmana, but still to the needy and to all, annadhanam should be given after the big yajna. But they don't, because they are doing it only for adambaram. So food is not given. Mantrahinam, and they chant nonsense without proper swara. Those people who don't learn Sanskrit and chant Sanskrit mantra, they are doing papam. I am telling you. Very sincerely I am telling you. The heart of Veda mantra is Shabdam. If you pronounce it horribly and without swaram, actually we are doing papam. Please understand. See, everybody need not do everything, I tell you. If you are interested in doing, learn it properly. And also I tell you, chanting of Veda mantras, we should leave it to Brahmanas who have done Adhyayana for 12 years. See, you study and understand and live according to Vedas. But the chanting for this Odrad, that you leave it to Brahmanas because they dedicated their life only to learn. And it has to be learned in that way only. Otherwise, it won't be perfect. So, mantrahinam, when you chant Vedic mantra wrongly, actually it is a sin. Without proper swara and all. And they don't know properly and they teach also. My God. And their children, when they learn, avare arahara, idu ka kora kuda kadayadu, adukkum kora. See, these we should not do. See, without knowing music, we should not teach music. Music is kadal madri adu. It's a samudram. Without knowing music, how can you teach music? Without knowing Veda chanting, how can you teach Veda chanting? Aravaraya Parshu, nothing we should teach. Mantrahinam, adakshinam. Meaning what? Dakshina has to be given to the priest sufficiently. See, sometimes we become very embarrassed to say dakshina has to be given. See, whenever a puja or a yajna, yaga is done, small dakshina at least should be given. Because if you don't give dakshina, it becomes tamasic yajna. It is said here, na? That is tamasic yajna. It is all said in our scriptures. Adakshinam. Krishna says here, see. So, whatever puja or yajna we do, after that, some dakshina, symbolic at least, say some 11 rupees, something you have to give to the priest who is doing it. But you should not say, Chuma, I have done it, it is over. No. Because those days, they were only depending on this dakshina, the priest class. So we have to give some dakshina, adakshina. So when you don't give it, it becomes tamasic. And shraddha virahita yajnam. Without any faith, shraddha, whatever you do, it is inauspicious. Don't do it then. If you don't have shraddha, don't do it. That is okay. But if you do it without shraddha, just for, chumma kama chauman edo senji mudichadnu, no. That all tamasic yajna. So whatever actions we do, either we should do it full of shraddha and bhakti, or we should not venture into it. Since somebody is compelling, we should not do it. So, shraddha virahita yajnam tamasam parichakshate, and it is said to be tamasic in nature. So, therefore, we should learn what are the vidhi, nishedha, how it is to be done, and then only we should do. It is not that whatever we do, God will accept. No. See, there are some puja, upasana that with pure heart God will accept. But certain yajna, yagadi, which is given in scripture, if you are venturing into it, then you should learn and accordingly you should do. And then the food or whatever has to be distributed. And then properly chanting proper mantra. And then dakshina has to be given to the priest. And more than anything, with shraddha and bhakti you have to do. If not, it is tamasic yajna. Performing such yajna, there is no use, number one. If it is mantrahinam, then it is also sinful. See, those days, they were very clear. See, they were not emotional or sentimental, they were very clear, our masters. The women folk were taking care of the household. So let them do it properly. And the men folk, they were available, so let them study Veda. When they study means what? They have to go to Gurukulam, sit there for 10, 12 years, master it, then come back. Chumma half-hearted, adapadi, idapadi. Then nowadays, morning from 9 o'clock to evening 5 o'clock, they go and study the secular science, and morning half an hour, 1 hour, evening half an hour, 1 hour, they will study Veda. And they have mastered Vedas. What is this? This is not the way. See, okay, something is better than nothing. And the something also should be learned properly from the right teacher and learning Sanskrit and with that swara. Why I am insisting, Veda means it is Shabda Brahman. You need not understand actually. If you chant it with the proper, intonation, swara and everything, then it has its own impact on your mind. Such is Veda, such are Vedas. And people go to Veda Pathshala also, and within 2-3 years they come back. And they think they are great Veda Vittu, and they start, doing all Yaha Yajnadis, Kumbhabhishekam, all those things. And without knowing any mantra also, they just go as a chela with somebody. Chela means what? Edubadi with somebody. And after a few years, they become big Gana particle. They only Gana body, not Ganapati. So those things we should not do. So it is tamasic. Tamasic means it will degrade you. Please understand. What is tamas? Tamasic activities will degrade you further. Already we are, in the lower rung of the society, the lower ladder, lower steps in the ladder. It will degrade you further. So that has not to be done. So if you are doing yajna, do it properly. Satvikam, don't expect anything from out of it. According to the injunctions we have to do. And this is my dharma. For the good of the world, it has to be done. So it is done. Not for adambara, dharpa, and not expecting fruits. It has to be done selflessly. Now, and then now he moves on to tapascharya. See here, before explaining what is sattvika tapas, rajasika tapas and tamasika tapas, he is now giving a wonderful insight about tapas itself. See, tapas can be performed kaya, vak and manaha. With the body, with the speech and with the mind. So he is explaining in the next 3 verses what is the tapascharya performed through the body, what can be the tapascharya performed through the speech, and what can be the tapascharya performed through the mind. And these 3 verses are very important and give so much beautiful insight about tapascharya. See, tapascharya means you are not standing upside down, all those things. No. This is what is tapascharya. When Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, it is very authentic. Is that not so? And Shankaracharya beautifully comments on it. So, Shariram tapa uchyate. So, what is the tapascharya with respect to the body? Enna tapassayanu? Udambu sambandama enna tapassayanu? Avnu keta. Deva dvija guru prajna. Pujanam shauchamarjavam. Brahmacharyamahimsa cha. Shariram tapa uchyate. Devadvija guru prajna. Pujanam shauchamarjavam. Brahmacharyamahimsa cha. Shariram tapa uchyate. What is the tapa done through the body? Deva, Dvija, Guru, Prajna, Pujanam. We have to worship all these 4 category of people. Deva, the Devatas, the phenomenal forces only is actually personified and they are called as Devatas. So, Parasparam Bhavayantaha, it is said. Means mutually they benefit each other. The humans and the Devatas. So, Deva Pujanam, we have to worship the Devas. And Dvija, twice born. Who are twice born? The Brahmanas. Brahmanas means what? Those who live according to the Brahminic Dharma. So, such Brahmanas we have to worship. And Guru, the Acharyas, the teacher we have to worship. And Prajna, one who is enlightened, full of knowledge and enlightenment. Such people should be worshipped. That is tapas. Worshipped means what? Here he says, Tesham pujanam. Pujanam means they have to be worshipped, respected first and then worshipped also. See, that is why in Bhagavatam, again and again we hear, whenever some Rishi Muni comes to the palace, immediately the king, he asks him to sit and then Pada Puja is done and all the Archana is done. Very respectfully they worship. Is that not so? When that great yagam was undertaken by Yudhishthira, I think Rajasuya yagam or whatever, the raga, that their yajna was undertaken, different people were given different tasks. You know what task Krishna accepted, you know? He was standing out and he was washing the feet of all the devotees entering into the Yajna. Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he took up that job of standing out and washing everybody's feet. See? Yadhyada charati shreshtaha. Whatever the shreshta does, the others follow. Is that not so? So the demonstration has shown this has to be done. Also he was given the Mudal Maryada, first honor. See, such a person coming down and washing the feet of all the Brahmanas, the Dvijas and the Rishi, Munis. So they have to be worshipped. And then Shaucham, we have to be clean. That is Shariram Tapa Uchyate. That is tapas with respect to the body. You have to be clean, inside and outside. And clean clothes and clean habits. So Shaucham. And then Arjavam, we have to be straightforward, not to be crooked. Arjavam means what? Straightforward. Brahmacharyam, self-control, not to indulge too much. Is a tapasya actually for the body. All the five senses we have to control and keep under our control. So that is brahmacharyam, meaning it's not self-denial. See, for sannyasis the self-denial, but for grihasthas it is only this much and not beyond. That is brahmacharyam. And ahimsa, we should not hurt, we should not attack, we should not hurt physically also, mentally also. So these are all the tapasya, he says. Shariram tapa uchyate. So when you practice all these things, then you are practicing austerities. See how simple it is. Not to torture your body, that is not tapasya. So we have to go by Sri Krishna only, na? Bhagavan Sri Krishna only. So these are the tapas. So we have to be clean, we have to be straightforward, we have to have perfect self-control, and then we should not hurt others. These, and we have to respect all the elders, the Dvijas, the Rishi Munis. So these are the tapasya practiced through the body. And then what is the tapasya practiced through the speech? That is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Here Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Anudvegakaram, meaning praninam adukkakaram vakyam. Means our words should not create pain and suffering in somebody's heart. That is called as anudvegakaram vakyam. Sometimes when we utter such things and people are hurt, what is that? Tiyinal suttabun ullarum, arade navinal suttavadu. Sometimes we utter such things and people are very deeply hurt. See, thing is, on that day Guruji was saying, even if you hit them, after some time they may forget. but the words. So therefore, what is the tapasya through speech? We should not utter harsh words which are penetrating and hurting. But there are some people, even mild words they get hurt. You cannot do, you cannot help. Touch me not kind of people. Touch me not means what? No, nothing should be told about me. I am such a perfect person. Nobody should comment on me anything. Even little bit, if somebody says, oh, I will react so violently, I will get very angry. And I will sulk for months together, years together. That we cannot help. But generally what it is said, anudvekakaram vakyam means it should not unnecessarily hurt others. So already people are suffering, everybody is suffering in this world. Why should we add some more suffering? And it will come back. Vatti modalu manamu varum. Morning you would have hurt somebody, evening somebody would hurt you. As Guruji said, somebody very dear to you, they will hurt you very badly. You cannot escape. Mutpahal sayyin, pirpahal vedayum. You do it in the morning, evening you will get it. So therefore, anudvekakaram vakyam. See to it that your words are not harsh, hurting anybody. And then, Shruti on the day was asking, where Swamiji, Satyam, Priyam, Hitam, about the truth. So here it is, Satyam, Priyam, Hitam Chayat. So that vakyam, that speech, which is truthful, Satyam, na anrutam, not falsehood, but whatever is Satyam, Priyam, which is pleasing to hear, which is not harsh, and Hitam, which will do something good for others, that has to be spoken. That is Vak Tapas. See? Satyam, Priyahitam Chayat. Priyahite means what? Drishta Adrishtarte, which is Hitam for this world also, for the other world also. And here Shankara in his commentary, he goes on and says, if you are performing tapas through speech, all the four has to be practiced, he says. Only if I practice one, it is not enough, he says. Not either or, no, he says. He takes so much of pain to explain all the four has to be practiced. Then only it is Vak Tapas. See, I practice Anudvegakaram, I will not hurt, but I will tell lie. No. I will tell only the truth, but sometimes Apriyam also I talk. He says no. And if it is not Hidam, don't tell, don't talk. So this is a tapasyaryam. And then he gives example. Then somebody asks, what we can talk then? He gives an example, very interesting, you know. He say, Yata, like what you should say, you know, Shanto Bhava Vatsa, Vatsa, my dear child, Shanto Bhava, may you be peaceful. Swadhyayam Yogam Cha Anutishta, practice self-study and meditation, yoga, etc. Tatate Shreyo Bhavishyati, then you will reach the highest good. Like that, if you talk, it is Satyam, Priyam, Hitam. Is that not so? So, when we start talking like that, 90% we cannot talk. Before, see, this is Vak Tapas. Before talking, we should think whether it is Satyam. Yes, Satyam. Is it required to speak now? Because sometimes it is not required. Sometimes, will it be beneficial to the other person? If you start thinking this way, you cannot have any conversation. Then you can avoid noise in the morning. At least in the morning, if you practice this Vak Tapasya, everybody will be peaceful. We talk in the morning and evening. It's not such something we talk. Then how will our word will have any impact? Only when you do tapas with the words, then it will have an impact. So anudvegagaram, not hurting anybody, which is, see, some people, you know, they exaggerate. It is not Satyam. How many people have come ஒரு 100-200 பேர் வந்திருப்பாங்க. 100-200 people would have come. Whether 100 or 200, how can there be a range of 100 and 200 pa? If you say 100-110, we can understand. ஒரு 100-200 பேர் வந்திருப்பாங்க. What is this? Is it satyam or what? அதுக்காக நான் கவுண்ட் ஆவர் சாமி பண்ண முடியும் 1, 2, 3. When you are kitchen in charge, you will always count. But otherwise, but you cannot say 100-200. No? See, there will be only 30-40. But some people say 100-200. That is not satyam. That's exaggeration. We should be very precise. If you don't know, you should say, I don't know. Some people take it very seriously. Wait, I will go and count and come. And they count and then they aren't satisfied. They start counting. Adun thevilla. Whenever in the bus people get in, then the coordinator, he or she counts. Always there is a doubt. Where is the one person missing? Under the seat. There is no place to sit. So under the seat. So Satya means we have to be precise. Whatever is the truth only we should utter. And we should ask whether it is required to speak that truth. As I told you the other day, when you find a person's dressing sense is horrible, should you spell it out or what? Should tell it out or what? ஐயோ இன்னைக்கு நீ எப்படி அவ்வளோ மோசமாக இருக்கு இன்னைக்கு. It is not suiting you at all. This black dress on your black skin is horrible. We are not able to see you in the darkness. ஏற்கனவே நீ அமாவாசமாக இருக்க, கருப்பாக வேறு ட்ரெஸ் பண்ணா வா, அது கருப்பு பொட்டு வேற. So, if you say like that person is hurt. Heart attack வந்துடும். For especially ladies and girls, if you hurt them, their dressing sense or their physical appearance, the whole day is lost. நம்மால் முடிஞ்ச உபகாரம். ரொம்ப சிரிச்சு குதிச்சுட்டு இருக்காங்களே, என்னமா செய்வோம் நம்ம அவங்கள. And these people also don't understand. Why should they take it so seriously? Oh, anudvegakaram, udvegakaram. So, satyam, priyam, hitam. Whether it is beneficial, most of the time it is not beneficial because nobody is listening to you. Is that not so? If nobody is listening, why should you talk? Our Acharya in this mantra mala, I will take the mantra mala one day if we have got some time. It's very interesting. One sentence is, who asked you? One sentence is, who asked you? Meaning what? We sometimes tell something without anybody asking. Who asked you? So like that, if we can speak, then it is vak tapas. Then what is the tapasharya? To be practiced with the mind. That is still subtle. Mana prasada saumyatvam. Maunam atma vinigraha. Bhava samshuddhirityetat. Tapomanasamuchyate. Mana prasada saumyatvam. Maunam atma vinigraha. Bhava samshuddhirityetat. Tapomanasamuchyate. Mana prasadaha. Manasaha prashantihi. To keep the mind always peaceful, unagitated, undisturbed, that is tapasharya. Tapasharya of mind. கொஞ்ச நேரம் அமைதியாக இருப்போமே. See, manaprasadaha means manaprashantihi. To be peaceful. That is the tapasharya to be practiced through mind. And saumyatvam. See, here Shankara defines saumyatvam in such a beautiful way. What he says, saumyatvam. Saumyatvam means yat saumanasyam ahuhu Mukadi prasada karya antakarnasya vrittihi. See, saumyam means pleasant to look at. That is saumyatam. But what he says, sau manasyam ahuhu mukadi prasada karya antakarnasya vrittihi. Since because inside he is very blissful, joyful and cheerful, that is reflected in the face. Mukadi prasada karya. His face, nalla kangallam virinji moham malarndu irukku solluvom illaya. Like the lotus, angalanda thamarainu solluvaanga. Fresh lotus, blossomed. Like that is face or her face. Why? Because it reflects the heart. The heart is joyful and cheerful. Therefore, it reflects in the face. That is the tapasya for the mind. So, mind should be kept cheerful always. See, that is tapasya of the mind. So, when the mind, for some reason or other, it is always dukhi. I don't have this, I don't have that. Nobody loves me. Then how will the face will be bright? Or the face will be very pleasant to look at. Agathin alagu mugathil theriyum. Is it not so? Whatever is in your heart, it will be reflected in your face. See, you cannot cheat, you cannot sort of bluff. So you have to keep your mind cheerful. Because our nature is blissful. So, உங்களுக்கு தெரியாத சுவாமி எங்களுடைய பாடு எங்களை மாதிரி நீங்கள் இருந்தால் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் எப்போ பார் cheerful எப்படி இருக்க முடியும். But that is a tapasya to be practiced through mind. Cheerful. இப்போ என்ன நடந்துச்சுன்னு நாங்கள் சந்தோஷமாக இருக்க சொல்கிறீங்க. ஒன்றுமே நடக்க வேண்டாம். Because your nature is of bliss. Why can't you be cheerful? And let it reflect in your face. So therefore, saumyatvam means saumanasyam actually. It is not the appearance, it's saumanasyam. The mind is very pleasant. Why? Mukhadi prakasa karya antakarnasya vrittihi. So the mind is cheerful, therefore the face is also reflecting it. And then maunam. Maunam should be the vak tapas, na? But here it is included in the manasika tapas. Why? Manasa tapas. Not manasika, manasa tapas. Why it is included? Because maunam is not only speech. Not chattering of the mind is real maunam. That is why it is included here. Please see, please note. Vakya samyamaha api manasamyama purvakaha bhavati iti karyena karanam uchyate manasamyamo maunamiti. Yes, not talking is mauna is fine. But also the mind also should be quiet. So only when the mind is quiet, when it is the cause and the speech is the effect. Only when the mind is quiet, the speech also can be controlled. You can sort of observe mauna. If the mind is agitated, if the mind is chattering continuously, and if you just suppress only the speech, there is no much use actually. In fact, sometimes it can create some sort of a problem within. So here, please note very carefully, maunam is included in manasa tapas. So therefore it is not talking to yourself. You know what? If you go on talking to yourself, then that is called as madness. How a person become mad? Initially, for some time he talks to himself. And later he will be only talking to himself. See, some people are there, they are devotees, but they start talking to God. It is good, you can talk to God. But the others watching you, when you go on talking to God as if he is there, then they doubt. Some people cry. கடவுளுக்கே ரொம்ப எம்பராசிங் ஆகிடும். எப்போ பார் அழுதான். நீங்கள் தானே சொன்னீங்க அழுதால் உன்னை பெறலாமேன்னு. அதான் இப்போ பாரு அழுமூஞ்சியாக இருக்கிறது. கடவுள் உங்களை பார்த்தா கொஞ்சம் அவர் சந்தோஷப்பட வேண்டாமா? இந்த வந்துட்டாங்கப்பா, ஐயோ போச்சு, இன்னொரு 15 minutes I cannot do anything. I have to put through. I have to go through. Put up with this Ajamunji. Okay. Now tell whatever you want to tell. Mudinjirucha? Go. And we think we are a great devotee. Swamiji, ungalku theriyadu engalukku. Oh, you are making so much of fun of miserable people, you know. Because they have to be made fun of. Because their nature is one of bliss. How can they be miserable? Our Acharya says, no, you are acting. What, Swamiji? I am really. No, you are acting. He is true. We are acting only. Why? Our nature is one of bliss. If you are a dukhi, we are acting only. Contrary to our nature. Please, for the God's sake, go to God and be smiling. Anyway, நான் ரொம்ப தான் அநியாயம் பண்ணுறேன் எல்லாரையும். மௌனம் yapashyati sapashyati atma vinigraha, and that is also tapasya for the mind. What is atma vinigraha? Mano nirodha sarvatah samanya rupa atma vinigraha vag vishayasya eva manasaha samyamo maunam iti visheshaha. He says, when you atma vinigraha means control of the mind, not allowing it to expand into too many thoughts. Thoughts. So you have to control the thoughts. That alone expresses speech. So when it is control of speech means mauna, but there also it starts from the mind only. And too much of thoughts when you entertain your mind. Some people say, no, Swamiji, so much of thought, I don't know what to do. That is the beginning stage of going mad. So if you go on entertaining thoughts. So what to be done? Take the name of the Lord. That is simple. Take the name of the Lord. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Just keep the mind only in the name of the Lord. Don't think about anything. Everything will be taken care. Just keep the mind on the name of the Lord. Then the thoughts will lose its power. We complain, so many thoughts, what to do, I don't know. When somebody tells you, then chant the Lord's name. That also we don't do. Chant the Lord's name. Watch the breath. That also we don't do. Watch the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Just watch and observe. Vikshana pranayama. Then also mind will be quietened. Or chant the Lord's name. Then also mind, we don't do anything. We only complain. The mind is so terrible. Atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhihi. We should be very pure in our interactions, in our attitudes. Bhava means attitude. When we are interacting in the world, we should be very pure in our heart, in our attitudes, in our intentions. Our intention is not to cheat somebody. Our intention is not to fool somebody. So, bhava samshuddhihi, that is manasa tapas actually. So, iti etat tapaha manasam uchyate. So, such kind of tapascharya is called as manasam iti uchyate. So, the tapas for the mind. So, tapas for the body is what? We have to respect and worship all the elders, Rishi Munis, the teachers, etc., Brahmanas, etc. And then we have to practice ahimsa, brahmacharya, and then shaucham, cleanliness, arjavam, straightforwardness. And regarding to vak, anudvekakaram vakyam, not to hurt anybody, satyam, priyam, hitam, and swadhyaya, adu marandu pitena solradhukku ungalku. Swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayat tapa uchyate. Swadhyaya abhyasanam means what? Study of scripture. That is vak tapas, chanting and study. And also swadhyayam in Yoga Shastra is defined as even japa. Actually, again and again, Patanjali Yoga Muni says Swadhyaya means only japa, he says, not even study of scriptures. In Vedanta Shastram only, Swadhyaya means study of scriptures. Because these Vedantis, they don't do much japa, I suppose. I don't know, they will do also. So Swadhyaya, Abhyasanam means we have to study scriptures, chant, Vedho Nityam Adhiyatam. So chant Vedas and also learn Swadhyaya Abhyasanam. Or japa sadhana, chant the Lord's name. That is tapasya for walk. See? So morning we are doing Deva Pujanam, Guru Pujanam through the body. And then through speech, we are taking the Nama, the name of the Lord. That is Swadhyaya, Abhyasanam. And then with the mind, what we are doing? Atma Vinigraha. We are not allowing the thoughts to run riot. Maunam, and not chatting with ourselves. So this is the tapasya we have to practice. And then, even one practices tapasya, according to their nature, it can be sattvic also, rajasic also, tamasic also. Even tapasya. Apadiya Swamiji, yes. So what is, how the sattvic people, they perform tapasya. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatrividham naraihi apala kankshibhir yuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatrividham naraihi apala kankshibhir yuktaihi satvikam parichakshaya sakshate. Shraddhaya, astikya buddhya, with faith that this will lead to the highest good. With that shraddha, faith. Paraya, shraddhaya paraya taptam. They practice austerity. Tapta means they practice austerity with so much of shraddha and bhakti. Paraya means prakrishtaya taptam, anushtitam. So they practice austerity with so much of faith that this is for my good. It will take me to the highest good. With that shraddha. Tapas trividam naraihi. And they practice all the three types of tapasya. What are the three types suddenly? With the body, with the walk, and with the mind. Whatever enumerated in the last three verses. So, trividam narai, tapaha trividam. So, they practice all the three types of austerities. Through their body, through their walk, and through their mind. Through their speech and through their mind. And afala kankshibhihi. And they don't expect results means what? They don't always ask, enna kadaikum enakku? Evalo maasathile en manas suddhamagum. If you do all these things, this tapasya, then how many months it will take for me to reach God? You will never reach God. Go. Enna Swamiji will tell you. If you ask, when will I reach? What will I get? What will I get? This ego is only, tendad. What will I get? What will I get? How will I reach? When will I reach? Afala kankshibhihi. You have to go on doing everything without expecting anything. That is it. இதுதான் ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். This has to be done. This is my dharma. This is for the highest good. That's all. My Guru Maharaj has said, this has to be done, I will do. This is for my good, he has said, I will do. And nothing is expected. Apala kankshibhihi. Yuktaihi. This is very important. Manam porundi seyanum ellatiyum. Mind should be there where our hands and legs are working. Is that not so? Even tapasya, let us say swadhyaya you are doing, study of scriptures or japa, if mind is not there, mind is roaming elsewhere and you are doing Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Yuktaihi. Keep the mind where your hands are at work. Kayyum meyyum karuthirku isaiha. Seivane ellam sevvane seiha. So, yuktaihi, Satvikam parichakshate. So such tapas is Satvika tapas. Not expecting anything, but sincerely, with faith, Shraddha and Bhakti he is doing, and he is keeping his mind in it. In that. That is, and he is practicing all the three types of tapasya through his body, speech and mind. So that is Satvika tapas. Contrasting to this, what is Rajasika tapas? That is also said. Satkaramana pujartam tapodhambena chaivayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam satkaramana pujartam tapobdhambena chaivayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam. Meaning, Satkaramana pujartam means what? Satkaraha means sadhukaraha. Meaning what? Sadhuhu I am. People have to talk about him. Sadhuhu I am. He is a great sadhu. Tapasvi. He is a great tapasvi. Brahmana. He is a uttama brahmana. Iti evam artham. Meaning what? He is practicing austerity and showing it off so that others should praise him like this. Satkara means what? Uyarva avana pesanum. He is a great sadhu, you know, and a great tapasvi, a brahmana. That is his, ullarndu paatha, that is his itch within. To get such kind of attention. See, Satkara and Mana. Mananam. Artham Manam means Mananam. Pratyuthana Abhivadhanadihi Tadartham. So Mana means what? He should be respected. Mana. Highly respected. And then Pujartham. Pujartham means what? Pada Prakshalana Archana Ashayitutvadi Tadartham cha tapaha. Satkaramana pujartham. Meaning what? His expectation is when people respect him and consider him to be a great tapasvi, they invite him to the house and then they do pada puja and then they give good food along with some bhiksha dakshina also. You know what? They give bhiksha and dakshina also should be given, it seems. So bhiksha dakshina also. So they don't only give food along with some money also. See, they were very compassionate, grihasthas those days. Because those days the sannyasis were not touching money. But they have to travel here and there, little bit money they require. So what they do, they offer food and give some money also. So he expects such things. That is why his tapasya is what? In order to gain some attention, so that people should praise him and then wash his feet and worship him. So such is his intention. Then it is Rajasika tapas. And not only that, and dhambena sayeva yat kriyate. Dhambena, he shows it off. Pomp and show. See, he sits like a statue. Paitara. He is gone. Then he is relaxed. Dhamba. See, you know what? People also sit for meditation and they are always very concerned whether the other person doing meditation or not. Meaning what? If the other person does more meditation, little bit kurukuru ஆயிடும். யோ எப்படி இவங்க மட்டும் இப்படி உட்காந்துருக்காங்க, நம்மளால உட்கார முடியலையே, ஒரு கிள்ளி விடுவோமா? Some people do some sort of thing, shesh type, they say, to disturb them. And they keep the tongue. So dhamba, everything dhamba. See, some people you cannot help because they are rajasic in nature. So whatever they do is because dhamba only. The vaarthai dhamba dhamani evlo use pandar pathingala. From the 14th chapter onwards, in the 16th chapter, 17th chapter, everywhere to point out rajasic people, this dhamba is used so much. Darpa, pride. Dhamba means showing off. Darpa means pride. These two things, or even maya. Maya means crookedness. All these things again and again repeated. So therefore, dhambena cha eva yat kriyate tapaha iha proktam katitam rajasam. That is called as rajasa tapas. Chalam. Chalam na enna theriyuma? It is always very fickle, wavering. Adhruvam. Adhruva means what? It will not give any substantial result. Adhruvam. அது சும்மா பொய்க்காக பண்ற தபஸ் அது. Chalam, always wavering, not firm. And adhruvam. Adhruva means it is temporary and it is not firm. If you want to impress somebody, then how long you can sit like that? So, it is temporary only. And it is not firm, means you won't gain anything out of it. See, people also, initially they may be fooled, but everybody will come to know in due course. That is why people get disillusioned. With Mahatmas also, with Swamis also, they get disillusioned. Initially they were illusioned and then disillusioned. So therefore, this is Rajasic tapas. And what is Tamasic tapas? Everything is said here, Nothing is left for our imagination. See, that is why Gita Shastram so much, studied and discussed. Very, very popular. Moodagrahenatmanaha. Moodagrahenatmano yat pīdaya kriyate tapaha parasyotsadhanartam va tattamasamudahridam moodagrahenatmanaha. Moodagrahenatmano yat pīdaya kriyate tapaha parasyotsadhanartam va tattamasamudahridam. Moodagrahena aviveka nishchayena. They have got a very perfect wrong understanding about everything. See? Aviveka nishchayena. They are very clear in their mind that this has to be done this way only, which is very wrong. So, moodagrahena, muttaltanamana practice. Moodagrahena. Because muttaltanamana sindhane. Some people have got this kind of foolish ideas about everything. So, that is tamasic, because it is not sanctioned by the scriptures or by the great Mahatmas. Whenever you want to practice tapasya, go and read these 3 verses. What is tapasya? And then accordingly you practice, that is tapasya. Chumma, you go and sleep in the bed of thorns. Nowhere it is said. And you know what? Atmanaha pīdaya. Yat tapaha atmanaha pīdaya. Pīdaya means what? By that tapas you torture your body. And Bhagavan said, na. And not only that, you torture the person who is indwelling in the body also. That is me, he says. That is not tapas. Very, very sorry state, here. So, yat tapaha atmanaha pīdaya. Pīdaya means you torture yourself. So much you trouble yourself. And not only that, parasya utsadhanartam. and to destroy somebody. Parasya means somebody, your enemy, utsadanartham. Why? When I do this tapasya, I gain more power. I get some boons, and with that I will destroy my enemy. This is the idea. Like Hiranyagashipu. Parasya utsadanartham. Va tat tamasamudahridam. Va means alladun artham. Tat tamasamudahridam. So that tapasya is called as tamasic tapas. See, actually speaking, more and more you do such tapasya, more and more identification with the body only actually. See, we have to come out of the body identification. Not only more and more body identification, more and more ahankara, ego. எப்படி நான் பார்த்தியா எப்படியெல்லாம் தபஸ்வரியம் செய்கிறேன்பா இவங்கெல்லாம் பாவங்கள் நீச் I am a big great tapasvi and it is not sanctioned by the scriptures. Such foolish tapasya is not sanctioned by our scriptures. They have got foolish ideas about things because they must have watched some films, These directors, what they know about anything, these film directors, they take some movies like that, and they must have read some Puranas. Like that, they sit, and the puttu molachnu mudiyum. நமக்கு ஒரு கொசு கடிச்சாலே தாங்க முடியல. A mosquito bite, we dance. With mosquito bite we can't. இவருக்கு புத்து முளைக்கணுமா? எங்கேருந்து புத்து முளைக்கிறதுக்கு? We have very unrealistic expectation out of everything, How can? No. Please understand, that is not required actually. What is required? Ability to stand apart and watch and not to get involved. That is required. And to distinguish or just to discriminate between the Sat and Asat. That is Jnana Tapas. And not to identify with Asat. Adan Tapasyaryam. That is real Tapasyaryam. See, this Vratam and all, adana nalladhu. Because your tongue, taste, that you are controlling. That is all good. Adha madri sila tapasyaryam sollirukku. But other things nonsensical, moodagrahena, foolish ideas. He is very sure about that. And Atma tat yat tapaha atmanaha pidaya kriyate. And he tortures himself. And not only that, parasya utsadhanartham. And in order to destroy others, whatever tapas practiced, tamasam udahridam, that you understand to be tamasic tapas. So we have seen, number one, regarding the ahara niyama. A person of sattvic nature or sattvic shraddha, what sort of food he will eat. And rajasic and tamasic we have seen. They are to food. And yajna. Yajna means worship. Or even our day-to-day activities. So that sattvic, rajasic and tamasic we have seen. And third one is tapasya also. See, before coming to tapasya, he said what is the tapasya? Through the body, through the speech and through the mind also. That is very important. We should know what we have to practice. And then the three types of the sattvic, rajasic and tamasic types of tapasya also. Now he is going to explain about dhanam. While giving alms, charity, what is sattvic, what is rajasic, what is tamasic. Most of the charity done here is only rajasic. Once again, dhamba, to show off, so everybody should appreciate, recognize, praise, with so much of advertisement. Or, by this I will go to Swarga, heaven and enjoy. That is also the idea. That is all rajasic. ஆனால் சொல்லுவாங்க வலது கை கொடுக்கிறது இடது கைக்கு தெரியக்கூடாது. Nobody should know. And this has to be done with humility. God has been very kind to me. Yes. So, I am offering unto the Lord only. Tera tujuko samarpana. That is the idea that we are all going to see in the evening class. What is sattvika dhanam, rajasika dhanam and tamasika dhanam also. So when we know all these things, we are very, very careful when it comes to our activities, our practices, tapasharya, and our charities, ahara niyamam, everything. So all the layers of the personality, when you take care, then only you become a perfect seeker, holistic. So then you can progress in the Adhyatma sadhana. So we'll stop here and continue in the evening class. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purna Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.